Welcome back to New England Living. Up next, we're visiting a renowned theater company bringing Broadway to southern Vermont. The Weston Theater Company is entering its 87th season, and this is obviously a place that's so proud of its history, but at the same time, you don't seem to be afraid of trying things that are new, including adding this new venue behind us.
It's an incredible story, this theater. It started 87 years ago. Weston is a tiny town of 400 people, and the story goes that it started because a group of people in winter in the town were bored and wanted something to do. And so they started reading plays to each other, and then they started putting on plays, and that became the Weston Playhouse Theater Company, which is now Weston Theater Company.
In terms of performance venues, this is so special. What does this town offer to visitors?
We like to think of it as a creative hive. That's sort of coming from the farm metaphor, all of the kind of buzz that goes on here. So yeah, we have our new theater, Walker Farm, which is very much a place for new and intimate work. We have the historic Playhouse, where we do classic musicals of a large scale, as well as classic plays. But then we also have 4 houses in town where our artists come and live with us, and they all come together in the snowy winter to create the next musical that hasn't been written yet, that might be on Broadway in a couple of years.
And the pathway that connects the two venues is called the Avenue of the Stars. What's the story behind that nickname?
The farmhouse on this property is where actors would gather and get together and read, and then they would take the walk down Route 100 to the Playhouse on the Avenue of the Stars, which maybe was also a cow path, to that theater where they would then perform. The foundation of this theater is about connecting the larger world to our town and our town to the larger world. We think of it as a really perfect metaphor for everything that this theater has to offer.
What is that like, growing this town and making it really a spot to visit when it comes to premier theater?
Yeah, it's such a special thing because we are so based in our community and we love our community, and we wouldn't be here without our community, but we're not a community theater. We're the oldest professional theater in Vermont, and so we're bringing Broadway actors, Broadway directors, designers, really some of the best talent in the country is coming to us. And they come here because they want a place where they can make some of the best work that they'll ever make and do it in this beautiful setting. And they're working together in ways that, to be honest, they don't necessarily get to anywhere else because of not just the quality of the work, but the environment. The fact that they're in this town with this community that really cares about them, where they get to really sit with the art for a long time and think about what they're making and not worry about what agent is calling on their cell phone or what the New York Times is saying. Not that we mind what the New York Times has to say, but there's just a really beautiful sense of coming here and feeling like you're in your artistic home.
Nationally acclaimed actor and Massachusetts native David Bonanno has been calling Weston his artistic home for over 30 years. This is known as the home of Broadway in Vermont. You're really giving a space for people in the area who want to watch premier theater.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting because we go from this sleepy little town, which is wonderful all year long, and then there can be 70, 80, 90, 100 people that descend here to work during the summer, and so it really starts bustling around here. Even though we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, it's really gained a reputation for doing wonderful work. So it's attracted artists, actors, set designers, lighting designers, writers from all over the country.
Give us a sense of the notable people and productions that have come through here over the years.
Yeah, so the very first season, 1937, Lloyd Bridges was a young actor, and he did a production of Hay Fever and was the leading man here for, I think, 3 years after that. Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame worked here for years. Back in the 60s, before he became famous, his brother Sam lived in town here, and so they would often do plays together. There's been lots of people who have gone on to be on Broadway, on television and film, and that have come back to work at Weston because they love being here, and so it's been a nice kind of sharing of talent back and forth over the years. When I'm in New York or when I'm in Chicago or when I'm in LA and I talk to people and they say, what are you doing this summer? And I say, oh, I'm going to be working at the Weston Theater Company in Vermont. They go, oh, I've heard that place. That place does really great work. And so now we are a professional theater company and have been for about 30 years now, and doing some really exciting work and doing some really great groundbreaking work. And I think our new executive artistic director, Susanna Gallagher, is really kind of propelling the theater into that direction.
One of the things that we like to use as our kind of catchphrase or another foundational idea is that we celebrate the classics and nurture the new. And we're trying to do that all the time, every day. And that sense of always looking back at the past, it's very much a Weston town and a Southern Vermont thing, holding on to history, holding on to our roots, while at the same time using them as a springboard for what's to come, for the stories of tomorrow, for the people who are going to be coming after us. And it's just a really beautiful way that, and I think of it as a very Vermont way of being very clear about the importance of the past while always being really excited about what's to come. And we do that in the theater really every day.
Coming up after the break, we'll visit a boutique hotel where luxury meets comfort when New England Living returns.